Hello and welcome to the Ministry of Miniatures, and today I've got a very special report. I am doing an unboxing and a review of the new Warlord Games Bolt Action 3rd Edition starter set, the Battle of the Bulge. And here it is in all its glory. As you see, it's a bolt action starter set, and as it says on here, it's got the hard-bitten US infantry clash with elite German paratroopers. So the box is quite a big size. Let's have a look around the sides to see what's on there. I've got a picture of some of the US winter infantry on the side. And then on the back, as you see there, it's got some of the paras, the German paratroopers, so the Fallschirmjäger. And it's also got one of the vehicles for the US. And then on the opposite side, it's got a picture showing the Fallschirmjäger in their blue dress for the Luftwaffe. Having a look on the back artwork pretty much shows you what's in the box. So as you can see, there are lots of different bits to it. You get the rulebook that comes with it, so that's the small A5 rulebook. It looks like there's a starter set. There is one of the new cards for the M8 Greyhound, which we'll have a look at, some decals. We've got some pin markers. It comes also with 24 of the hard plastic new US winter infantry, which is good. You get 18 German plastic Fallschirmjäger in their winter kit, and then you get one of the hard plastics M8 or the M20, however you decide to do it, vehicle for the Americans. And then on top of that, you also get the ruined farmhouse, which helps you just set up if you're new to the game, so that's really good to give you some cover and to try out the new cover saves as part of the system. You get enough order dice, 3 for the Germans and 5 for the Americans, to be able to get officer squad and 2 for the Fallschirmjäger, so that gives you the initial infantry platoon. And then with the Americans, it gives you the extra for the vehicle, but it also comes with some of the flame markers, so these smoke and flame markers, and most importantly, you get the templates as well. So on the back of there, it looks like everything you would need to get started. Let's have a look inside. So as I said, there is quite a weight to this box, so let's take the lid off and see what's inside. Oh, so there's quite a pleasant surprise, something I haven't seen before, which is, it looks like a small dice bag. So if you're playing bigger games, it's probably not enough, but this is more than enough you'll need for a basic starter game. It's not advertised on the back, and it doesn't appear to be advertised anywhere, so that looks like some kind of freebie. So that's very good, thank you Warlord. Let's have a look what's next. So next up, Warlord like to do this, and we like them to do it as well. It's a play sheet, so as you see here, it goes through the turn sequences, the different orders, some of the stats around moving and shooting, so that's quite handy. This is going to be really useful. I often use, people produce a third-party cheat sheet, which just gives you a lot of this information all in one place. So the likelihood is this will keep me in good stead until I get to that place. But as you can see, heavy machine guns 48 inches, light autocannon 48 inches. So all the new information about what we need to run the game is on there. It comes with a nice little ruler. I don't think I'm actually going to cut that out, but nonetheless, there's a ruler on each side, so that helps you and your opponent if you want them. It's in quite thick cardboard as well, so if you did cut the ruler out, at least you could use that. So inside, we've also got what looks like the starter guide for the Battle of the Bulge. So it seems to go through a bit of history about the book and the battle. Assembling your forces, so as you see there, it's got how to assemble the Winter Americans. Assembling the force, so you see there is the officer, 2 rifle squads for the rifle platoon, and then the M8 to get you started on if you were to go with a recce or a vehicle platoon. So that's the American Army list that comes with the box. Then it tells you about assembling the Fallschirmjäger, and again it shows you different options you can have. So it lists all the details on here, whether it's machine guns or assault rifles. There's even a picture of someone with a Sten gun. And then it gives you some examples of how to run the different forces in the scenario. So you can use the scout car, 90 points, and you could even go up to 4 squads if you just lower the number of men in the squads. And then to get you started with the game, there's a few scenarios. So scenario 1, a chance encounter. So that looks quite good. Hold the line is the second one. Counter attack. Some nice artwork in the middle there, very good. And then it continues around showing how to paint your models, both the Americans and the Germans, and also some details around the paint used for the M8, the Greyhound. Oh, quite nicely, there's instructions on how to build the M20 or the M8 Greyhound, depending on how you want it, which is always quite handy because it just helps put it all together. And then quite handily, it gives you up, so what next? So with the Americans over here, you can add support and more troops and tanks, Germans, probably the go-to. On this side with the Fallschirmjäger, you can put machine guns, mortar, spotter, sniper, officer, Stug. So lots and lots there. So that's quite nice. And then actually on the back, they've also repeated the play sheet. So let's have another deeper look and see what else is inside. So next up is a rule book, but I'm going to save that till last. So we've got the flame markers just here, so that's good. They always come in handy. We've got the M8 or the M20, depending on how you build it, and that always comes in handy as a scout car. So that's going to be very good. A welcome addition to the army. And this is really nice. So within the starter set, having some ruins built, so they always come in handy. You can either just build them up separately, or as I tend to do, I put them on a base, I build them up into a small building, but they do look quite nice once you put some snow on them for this scenario and have them as burnt out buildings, so that's good. Yeah, there we go. We got some small white dice, and we've also got enough dice for 3 German squads and 5 American squads. Then looking further in, it comes with 1, 2, 3, looks like 4 American sprues and 3 German sprues, which I'll look at shortly. Looks like enough bases for all of them. There is also some pin markers. I like to paint my numbers on before I actually attach these, just to make it easier to paint them on and easier to see. And then finally, there we go, there's the decals in the bottom, which I'll show, but we have here the template for 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch and 4 inch explosion markers. And then, as you can see, all the markers for whether you are doing a snap to, whether you're hidden, whether your track or your turret is broken. So let's have a look at the decals, see what's inside. Yeah, so it looks like they're the American Sherman decals, but these are good for the vehicles, so that's to go on the M8. And then as you see here, the M8 has got, oh, they haven't actually put, previously they'd have a picture of the vehicle on there. This time they haven't, but they do have the details around which nation it can go for and what the values are, whether it's an M20 or an M8. So there we go, that is the contents. Let's have a look at the sprues first. Okay, first up is the American sprue. And I'm just going to zoom in a bit so we get some detail. So, as you can see, there's a hand grenade, little pouch, there's a pistol holder, a lot of helmets on this side, which is very good. Thompson, and then you can see there is machine gun and a rifle on this side, as well as a digging tool. Looks like they're holding a water canteen there. Then several rifles, that's probably a Springfield with the telescopic sight, which is good. Then moving further down, you can see there's another Thompson there and a rifle. Then we've got the first 3 bodies in their long coats, so that's very good. Another rifle, and what's quite good is the rifles seem that they would be really easy to attach. Moving further down, there we go, there's a bazooka and the shell that goes with it. So there we go, there's the bazooka and the shell that goes with it. Another rifle arm, and then there are another 3 bodies. One of them is kneeling. I do quite like to use the kneeling for NCOs because they just stand out in a squad, and usually for snipers and things like that. There you go, there's another rifle arm. And then it looks like on here there's another smaller shell magazine, and a typical for American sprues from Warlord, someone smoking. There's a map, binoculars, and that also looks like a grenade. Then there's some more weapons, and this is quite nice. I'll probably use these for other Americans. That radio in hand will be really good, because I'm not going to use all of the ones I've got. So actually, for my normal Americans, because I'm going to need more officers, I'm going to use these arms definitely to produce either more officers or more assistance with the officers. And then as you see, the bazooka casing for the rounds. And then there's various pouches, machine gun pouches. Looks like that's a BAR. Yes, that's a BAR. So we've got BAR here, and then some canteens and ammo pouches and rucksacks on the back there. So there you go. That is the American sprue. Very nice and very nicely detailed. Let's have a look at the back, especially at the bodies. So you see there is plenty of detail on the bodies. That's very nice. I'm looking forward to painting those up and adding them to my winter US Army. Let's have a look at the faces on the sprues as well. Very good. So there you go, let's have a look at the Germans. So this is the German sprue. So let's have a look in a bit more detail. We've got a pistol at the top there, then there's various hats in winter protection. You see the gas mask there, and some packs and some ammo pouches for machine gun. Then there's the stick grenade. We've got some small bread pouches and canteens. The Fallschirmjäger ammo packs, which is very nice. And probably this is quite useful. As you see here, there's a Panzerfaust in someone's arm, but actually with the new rules, I quite like to model them separately. So you attach one that can be taken off when it's fired, or have a separate man that you just swap in. Someone's using an entrenching tool as a weapon there. There is a Sten gun and rifle. There is the assault rifle. We've got some ammo pouches here, some ammos that's being carried. That'd be quite nice to get on the troops as well. Another Panzerfaust there, and then it comes on to the first of the Fallschirmjäger. So they've got nice quilted legs there, and there's really nice detail on the bodies. Another crouching guy, so he's either going to be officer, well, radio man, NCO, or something along those lines, probably a sniper too. Then this next one here, also again, has got nice quilted trousers. Looks like someone's saluting, which is quite good. Someone with the MP40 machine gun. Then there's a light machine gun there, which is quite nice. He's carrying it forward, so I'm probably going to swap some arms around from other kits to have different LMGs. I don't like them all in the same pose, so I'll do the same with here. And actually, I'm thinking I might use some of these. I'll probably do a showcase of the army I'm going to work on for this, which is I'm looking at doing some mountain troops on the Eastern Front, and probably Croatians as well. So I might put some commando backpacks on these and make them into mountain troops, or perhaps troops for Norway. But yeah, the bodies on these look very, very nice. I'm very impressed with the sculpts. A couple more rifles, which is very nice. Oh, that's a nice touch. And then you've got some small pouches there with a hand grenade stuck in, so that's quite nice. Another machine gun, a loose rifle, always handy to have. It looks like there is a Soviet machine gun there, which is quite good. Another machine gun. Oh, then that one there is an assault rifle. Yeah, the Fallschirmjäger assault rifle. Then there's various ones here, so you could put together a squad with assault rifles. And then look, there we go, nice amount of different pouches, a separate assault rifle its own, and a Panzerfaust, some ammo belts, and some more heads. Let's have a look at those. There we go, so that's the more, they're in the Fallschirmjäger helmets there, which is very, very nice. Let's have a quick look at the back of the bodies. And again, you can see there's plenty of nice detail on them, and they are going to make some very nice figures. So I'm going to use these in a winter German army. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the set, and let's have a look at the book. So here we go. This is the bolt action book the 3rd edition. Even though this is the A5, I'm going to get the hardback as well because I need to see bigger writing than this on here. As we know, it's going to have an index at the back, which is amazing. Didn't previously have that for God only knows why, but there is an index, so it makes it very much easy to find stuff. Throughout this, the artwork is very, very nice. The A5 book is going to be my go-to if I go to any tournaments or if I'm helping out at the NEC or doing some charity events running starter games for bolt action. But you can see here in the contents, it takes you through all the details you need to know about getting started. The introduction, there's different periods of the war, so Germany strikes. It goes through different campaigns through the Low Countries, Duel in the Sun, so a lot of these are the old campaign books. The Balkans, Crete, Sicily. It covers the Ostfront, which we're doing as part of our Operation Barbarossa. We're on our way to Stalingrad at the moment, so check out those reports, they're very good, and we're going to be going all the way back to Berlin. Moving forward, so it's got there, Fall Blue and Stalingrad, Kursk, we've done some of those battles, and Empire in Flames. So this is really nice because it sets out a lot of the battles, so I might use this next year for some Pacific campaigns where we can actually go through the order they're on here and fight them out. Let me know in the comments below if that's what you'd like to see. So it goes into Japan, Battleground Europe, and as you can see here, it's got Operation Overlord, Victory in the West. Then it goes on to stuff for new starters, basic supplies, what you need, dice bag, dice, pin markers, templates and tokens, the conventions of war. So it takes you through all the basics of getting started for Bolt Action 3rd edition. Incidentally, I am thinking about doing some Bolt Action boot camps to cover this. If you think that's a good idea and you want to see it, please leave a comment below. The more I get, the more likely I am to do it. And I'm going to pull together some how to move, how to pull together your platoons, shooting, cover, all the basics you need, wrapping up with a starter battle report. So as you can see, it's very, very good. Covers all the vehicles, buildings, HE, and very nice artwork all the way through to arranging a game of Bolt Action. So they've got a new system for battling a scenario. It's got it here. You roll a dice and you can either do your own, which we tend to do, or you can roll a dice and make it generic or random so that people don't take multiple rocket launchers and howling cows and sit at the back. This will allow for different scenarios and you'll have to take a force to fight different scenarios. It's got all the details in here about how to play those games, what the winning conditions are. Some nice winter troops there that match the theme of the box. Then it goes on to force selection, setting up a platoon, selecting a platoon, whether you want a rifle platoon, engineering platoon, armoured platoon, recce infantry platoon, and then some sample forces. So it goes all the way through from Blitzkrieg right the way through different army lists before it does go on to the nations. Now, there will be armies of books coming out, but this book covers the basics you'll need to get started with Germany, the US, it'll cover Britain, the Soviets and Japan. So they're all in there. There'll be PDFs coming out on the book release date and it will cover the basics of what you need to get started until the armies of books come out. And then when you get to the end, it's got some common optional rules, common vehicles, optional rules, so whether you use paratroop landings or snow, fog, water, it's all in there to add a bit of variety to your battles, including foxholes, fortifications, minefields and hidden deployments. So it's all in there to get started. Really nice book. And then what I like is just as you get to the end, it has a rule summary. So if you want the quick reference, this is your go-to place. I'm going to put a little marker in here just to keep, so I know where it is. And then very nicely, Alessio Calvatore has very kindly signed the book to say thank you. And there we go, that's the index. So let me know what you thought about the starter set, what you want to see from the channel. If you're interested in buying this, there are details below in the description, which has an affiliate code, which just helps the channel earn a little bit of commission, which just goes back into the channel to help us buy stuff. It all goes back into the channel and helps support us. Consider being a patron. That really, really helps. We've got a number of patrons, and you can be a named commander on the battlefield or a tank commander. Great fun trying to keep you alive. But in any case, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, share, because that really, really helps. And if you haven't already, please, please, please subscribe. Everyone helps. But in the meantime, thank you very much, and see you all again soon.